Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, good morning.
Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
Well, obviously, we are down in the basement right now because we're already getting it. We're getting to work. We're getting things done. We have had a very busy week this week. It's been a lot of really tedious tasks, but
Yes.
I mean, we're knocking it off the list, so.
It's moving along.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. Yeah, so today actually started out not like how we expected. Today we started out very frightening. I won't go too far into it. You'll be seeing it on one of our next upcoming videos, but it involves a bear.
Yeah.
A bear. Yeah, there was a bear on the property. It was kind of scary, man, because I was sitting there and I was moving files over from my GoPros to my laptop. The kids were out and about. They were doing their chores. And Scarlett was getting ready to go over to Anthony's and go see Wyatt and stuff like that this morning. The kids always are binging back and forth. And Scarlett's like, "Mom, I'm going to go see Wyatt." And out the corner of my eye, I saw a bear. And it was crossing the street and stuff. And so I screamed, "Scarlett, get!" And Gary, here, I say, "Bear, Scarlett!" And Gary was just waking up. He still had like gunk in his eyes and everything. And he just was barely waking up. And he heard me shriek and scream bear. He jumped out the trailer with his tube socks and freaking chonies, just with the poo-poo in his hand, ready for some action, man. Gary was ready to go get it.
Yeah.
I was like, "Babe, calm down, don't hurt him," you know.
No, I just jumped out. Well, I didn't want to go over there and like make sure you guys were okay with nothing in my hand.
No, I know.
So
Better safe than sorry. Plus, you didn't know, was he at camp, how far away it was? You were inside the trailer and you just heard me shriek, "Bear!"
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, it was very eventful this morning. We actually, you'll be seeing some of it inside the video that's going to be coming up.
We reenacted it.
Yeah, not the next one, but the one after that, the Monday's video, because I finally got myself on schedule with our videos, so that way I can take weekends off. So what we've done earlier in this week is actually going to be coming out tomorrow for you guys, and the stuff that we did, we're doing today and whatnot, is actually going to be coming out on Monday for you. So I finally got my filming on track where it needs to be. But yeah, this happened today. You guys will be seeing it on SimpleLifeReclaimed on Monday. So
yeah.
It was an eventful morning. It was a very eventful morning. The adrenaline, yeah. There's more to it too, but you guys will just have to wait and see our live reenactment because, yeah.
It was insane.
It was pretty insane. What are you staring at?
I'm just looking at all the work and everything that we still have to do.
Oh. So,
you know me.
I know. You're just like looking off into the abyss. I'm like, what are you doing?
You're talking.
Yeah, I don't.
That's how I.
Yeah. Anyway, so that happened this morning. It was very eventful, and we are already out here. We're starting to get it going already, guys. There's still much to do. I will say I was extremely excited because yesterday Gary dragged out, or I noticed it yesterday that Gary had dragged out our electrical panel. And it's now sitting in the back room waiting to be installed.
Yep.
But I have to do some painting in that back room and whatnot to get it ready before he can like attach things to the wall and stuff. I got to make sure that the walls are prepared. So I'm going to be getting on that. So then we can start working on all this electrical. So yeah.
Yeah, buddy. I can't wait.
I know, I'm so excited. Because that means that it's getting closer. It's getting closer. Before I forget, I'm wearing Cold Beer Ranch's shirt today, and I wanted to wish John at Cold Beer Ranch a very happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And I wanted to congratulate him. Last night on David with Come On Homesteading's channel, his live chat, John had popped in and had made mention to it, and his channel made it over 10,000 subscribers yesterday. So huge congratulations. Happy birthday to John at Cold Beer Ranch. We'd love for you guys to jump over to his channel. I'm going to put a link down in the description below. You guys can go over there and wish him a happy birthday and let him know that SLR is sending all the love. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. I wanted to mention that before I forget. I got a whole list of notes, guys. So
Whole list of questions.
I got a whole list of questions and notes. There was something else I wanted to mention too, which was our very good friend Drew with Drew's Lens, formerly known as Dutch Creek Cabin. Drew is currently in New Mexico. He's doing awesome. One of the photos that he got recently, it was just like, it was the perfect timing of everything. You got this big monsoon coming in, you got a big beautiful rainbow, you got the mountains, a gorgeous bridge, and then you got a bighorn sheep all like right there. It was so perfect, Drew. I just want to tell you that that shot was amazing. We are here for your journey. I can't wait to watch the video that you have created. It's going to be coming out today. He's been vlogging his whole journey across the United States, guys. He's stopped in with so many different YouTubers along the way and just kind of friends in the community and stuff, and I know that he's going to be going to some national parks, doing some hiking and some sightseeing. So if that is stuff that you guys are interested in, please go over and check out our very good friend Drew with Drew's Lens. I'll be putting that down in the below. You guys know where to find it. And go check him out as well. So big shout out. Love you guys. Wanted to let all of our friends know we love them and are thinking about them. So I wanted to just jump into these questions because there's a few of them, and it might take a little while for some splaining. There might be some splaining needed to be done, and then we can start working because we have a limited amount of time today because tomorrow is going to be hyper busy. So let's just jump right into it. So Linny Vanden is wondering, what about roll roofing or those plastic corrugated panels to put on top of the above?
I mean, we could, but that would just be so. They're not cheap. They're almost like $30 a piece in like a good long section, and they're only like 30 inches or so wide. So
so it'd be a couple thousand. It'd be like
it'd be
at least
expensive.
$1,500 to $2,000 or so to do the top at that price.
Pretty much. The only benefit that would be awesome in the sense that if we did do that, we could use that for like a greenhouse later on.
Or like animal pens.
Or, well, you want to make sure that the sun's out of the animal pens, so that way they're not roasting. Oh.
Oh yeah, because are they clear? They're clear.
Yeah, they're clear. Unless you can get the other ones, but I would rather if I were to do that, I would get the clear ones so we could do the greenhouse thing later. But I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That would still almost do the same thing.
Well, what we're kind of leaning more towards nowadays, guys, honestly, is getting that Henry style. It's like a very thick Flex Seal type of paint. It is made for roofing.
Yes.
It's mostly for like trailers and stuff like that. Not necessarily what we're going to be using it for, but I think that if we just put that sucker on nice and thick, that it's going to do the job for us. We shouldn't have to be living inside here for too long before we build the cabin up. I mean, it's going to be a few months, yes, because we are going to be building the garage first, but I don't see it taking too terribly long.
No.
So the amount of time that's going to be exposed to the elements before we get to actually closing everything in, I think it would be all right. So that's kind of more where we're leaning at this point.
Which we're going to probably most likely after the garage do the decking around.
Yes, so we have some place to stand.
Yep, and make it to where it's all good to go and ready right there. But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, if we did any kind of like corrugated panels or anything too, we'd probably have to remove them before we start working on the framing of the house.
Correct.
And so then we'd have no roof during that time.
Yes.
Roof.
So that would be another thing. Whereas like the plastic, I mean, I don't know. I really want to do some more research and triple check because I feel like we could do the plastic if we do the kills and then spray it on there. But you're shaking your head. So, and I understand why. I get it. Trust me. So
it's a lot of money and a lot of work.
I know if it ends up not working the way that we want and traps the moisture and everything else. But.
See, and I know that Henry stuff, it will just shut off. And after every storm, we are going to have to go up and use a broom and like get all the standing water off of it, regardless, no matter which way we go, because it's a flat roof. There's not really anywhere for water to run. It's just going to sit.
It will end up pulling, and we don't want it to pull and make a bubble or make a divot somewhere.
Yeah, sagging of the wood.
Sag it or.
So that's definitely going to have to be something that, regardless, no matter which way we go, we're going to have to do that. The only thing that, if we did do plastic, and we didn't actually have it on, and we actually had it like maybe like make a pitch in the middle, like I was talking about before. But the problem with that is that with the windstorms,
well, the windstorms, but
you know,
also
flap it up and go away.
building wise, we'd still have to
Remove
it to get it, and that's why I was like, well, if we just glued it down, then we make it to where it's not. If you don't want to do it, I understand.
Yeah.
And you're on that side of it, so like I said, we'll just get that latex type paint that we can paint on wood and make it to where it's waterproof that way, because
okay, and then Mary Key has a suggestion, and because in one of the videos before we were talking about what are we going to do with our trailer afterwards and all that stuff, and one of the comments that she says was, I thought you guys could lend Come On your trailer when he starts his house repairs. So that's something that we can also do as well. David is a very close, good friend of ours over at Come On Homesteading.
Yep.
And yes, if he is tearing off his roof and we're inside our basement and our trailer is just sitting there, you bet your butt we'll be hauling our trailer over there for him to use for however long he needs it, if that's what he wants to do. If he doesn't want to do that, if he has something else in mind, well then, I mean, it's his deal, so. But it would be an option for him.
Yes.
I would not let him be roughing it out there for, you know, in a tent or something when he could be comfortable in our trailer. So, and we would just haul it over to his property and allow him to use it. And then when he's done, you know, we get it back. So, no big deal. But that's a very good point, Mary. That's a very good point, and it may be something that you guys see in the future. I know David is very busy with a lot of things going on right now. I don't want to spill any beans going on his channel, so if you have questions about the when and all of that, please make sure to direct it towards David, because we can't answer those things for him. That man runs his own busy schedule, and he's doing an amazing job at it. So, David, you're the boss. You're doing great. So Fallen Arkansas Veteran had a question. Have you thought about getting a misting system to cool you down?
So a misting system would be cool, but the only thing yet again is just that moisture and where we would have it per se. I wouldn't want to have a whole lot like in the camp area. It would be nice, but at the same time with all the electronics right there, adding more moisture, it's just going to cause an issue down the road. We've come to realize how much humidity and the moisture plays a huge effect on everything, and
which is all new to us being desert people. Like, this is we've actually can say that we've lived in Arkansas for a full year, and in this year we have experienced so many different things that we've never experienced before. There's so many different variables that were just not even a thought in our mind. We hadn't even considered certain things because we've never lived in this climate before. But, you know, personal experience is the best teacher, and when you live it and you learn it through your own personal experience, you don't forget it. Where somebody can tell you something and it might go there, but then you might forget about it because you've never actually experienced it. So, yeah. And then Fallen Arkansas Veteran had a question specifically for you, baby, because he's running into a little issue right now. He said, what did you do to fix Bobblehead's truck? I think I'm having the same issue, and I would like to know what to check, to fix, to look into.
So what I did with Bobblehead's truck, he ended up having a leak in his actual intake gasket area, or the manifold gasket, whatever you want to call it. So that area, the intake manifold, what happens is if you ever have like a sealed break right there, there's oil ports and there's also the coolant ports. You can check inside your coolant and see what color it is. If it's supposed to be green and it's looking orangish at all, you're having that issue right there, and you have to completely and utterly remove that intake manifold, remove the gaskets, clean up everything, and then completely flush your coolant system, oil change, all that, and then put in new sealants and everything like that. And when you do that, there's stepways. If you are going into it, email us, and I'll actually send over a little document showing you exactly what to do and everything like that. That has the torque specs and everything as well. But it's not that hard of a process. You just have to remove literally your whole intake manifold and then get in there and everything. You'll also want to clean the actual intake manifold that you have in there. They are extremely pricey if you just buy a brand new one. I find that cleaning it is a lot easier, and you can get a huge tub of it's like a can basically, but it's carb cleaner, and it's a chemical. I think it's called carb chem or chemical or something like that. But anyway, you can dump your carburetor in there. You can use that on your intake manifold as well. I just basically used a huge bucket and I poured all of that in there. I added water in there so I can sort of add more of it because it is pretty expensive for one bucket. And I just sort of every now and then went over there, wiggled it back and forth, and then I went in there and also just sprayed everything out with water and let it dry. And then as soon as that was all said and done, we were able to put everything back together and replaced all the seals that for the EGR. I also replaced that for them because when you're in that area and doing all that stuff, you might as well replace your EGR. It definitely helps out with gas. So, but yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. But the biggest thing to check is look at your coolant and see what color your coolant is. I know that some of the newer Chevys, they actually went with the Dex Cool, which is orange, so it makes it a little trickier. That's why I like the green coolant. For the older vehicles, especially because, like I said, you can see what is going on just within that. But they do make a little dripper thing that you can actually get the coolant from, and you can test the coolant and see what's going on with that. Also, check your oil. If you are burning a lot of oil, I guarantee you have a leak somewhere in that area, and you are burning off that oil because of just how hot the exhaust is and everything else. You shouldn't ever be burning oil, and a lot of it comes back down to that area itself is the intake. You might have a clog, and it might be trapped in there, and it's supposed to be exhausting and everything else, and yeah.
What he said. My brain was doing the hustle.
Those older vehicles are very easy and simple with that kind of stuff, and that's why I like the older vehicles. Nowadays, you gotta triple check every little aspect to it, but that and you can also see a lot of pulling up of oil or coolant up on the top side of the rails and everything. Normally, you can see that pulling up.
Do the hustle.
And a lot of times with those, somebody goes to say, oh yeah, I replaced it, but then they don't do the torque spec or the diagram correctly, and then it throws it cockeyed, or it doesn't have one bolt tight enough, and it can leak through that bolt area. And
you are so passionate about vehicles, baby. You are so passionate. Anyhow,
I like that question though.
So I can tell. James Butcher is asking. They have rubber floor. Okay, they have rubber for roofing. Have you looked into that?
So they do have rubber for roofing and everything like that. I have looked into it and seen what it all entails. For what I can tell, the rolls sections are anywhere from 3 feet wide to like 6 feet wide, and we would just have to do it in a sense of like exactly like a roof. But the downside is overlaying it like that, you'll end up causing a spot because it's flat and will go over that way, unless you can buy one specifically made for this.
We'd have to do some more research into it. I've seen them, but we don't know enough about it.
No. But then again, it would probably be a lot like the same aspect
of the Henrys.
Well, no, in the same aspect as the plastic and moisture retaining underneath that.
Yeah. So I really strongly feel like we are going to go with that rubber latex style paint. I have a very strong feeling that's the way that we're going to go. We're probably going to be doing some shopping for those materials this weekend, more than likely, because we're at that point. So we want to make sure that everything is finished on the exterior, which that's like one of the last things we got to do. So we're probably going to be shopping for those materials this weekend and making a decision one way or another. But myself personally, I am really heavily leaning towards that latex style paint that you use on the trailer roofs and all that. So, and then Mr. Dio was laughing he had a super long comment, and it was just kind of like whatever, but he was laughing at us for not doing TikTok, but hypocritically doing Instagram and YouTube. Basically, we're conspiracy theorists and we listen to too many, sound bites and this and that. Bro, we don't listen to pretty much anything when it comes to the news, and we read all of our own stuff and make up our own mind. We don't swing either which way. We don't side with any political parties. This is not a political channel. We don't like discussing those types of things. And we have our personal reasons why we choose the platforms that we choose. And we just don't really feel like we want to do TikTok. I started doing Instagram mostly because I just wanted to get off the book of face. And I still wanted to share pictures with friends and loved ones, people that I know personally. And we just started sharing our Simple Life Reclaimed content on that as well, because I wanted one account to share all of those things. So Instagram for me is for, like, you know, private messages, also so I can keep in touch with some of our personal friends and family, but I am enjoying their reel feature, which is like, it's kind of like how YouTube has shorts, and I am enjoying the reels feature on there. It's a lot of fun, and because we've been sharing so much on Instagram, last night we were monetized on Instagram. Last night. So, I mean, hey, it's another source. I mean, I can get a little something something for our idiotic stupidity. Why not? It's fun to do. It makes everybody laugh, and we have a blast doing it. So I know that there is a lot of you guys that are not on that platform, and you guys are like, oh, that's no fair. I want to see it. So we decided yesterday during our live chat that we were going to start sharing some of those shorts here on Real Talk with SLR. Why share them here instead of on Simple Life? Because all you folks that are here on Real Talk, I feel like are more, you guys really, really care about us, and you guys really love us, and we can be, you know, we can share those types of things without getting people like pissed. You know, it's weird, like social media, when you start doing it the way that we're doing it and turning it into like a, you know, a side business type of a thing, you get all sorts of different types of people, and there's some stuff that we don't mind sharing, I guess, with every single one, which is mostly on the Simple Life. We share our day-to-day vlogs, as well as everything to do with our build and our new life and all this adventure. But there's some stuff that when we share it, we just get piled on with the hate. So I know that here on Real Talk with SLR, we don't really come across that as much, and so I feel like I'd be better suited to share some of that here on Real Talk. So I do have another one that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. I think slowly but surely I'm going to take all of our reels from Instagram that we've made throughout the years and just repost them here on Real Talk, and they will be in the shorts format. So it'll be just a quick, you know, under 1 minute vertical style video, and hopefully you guys get a good laugh at our expense, or be inspired, or want to cry, or just all the feels. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Other than that, the only other thing that I really wanted to discuss with you guys before we head on out of here is a quick comparison of how much our life has changed from last year to now. I mean, last year, this time, we were breaking ground. I was out here with the jackhammer. We were digging, and I don't even think we were working on the rebar yet. I think we were still just working on holes.
I mean, was it this time?
It was. I'm pretty positive. I'd have to go back on our videos.
I thought it was next month. I thought that we just barely got this hole dug out, and I was like staking out where we were going to start digging.
You know what? You might be right. You might be right. It might have been August of last year that we were using the jackhammer.
We started actually doing it.
You might be right. But our life has changed tremendously in just the last year. We've learned so much. I mean, even just little things like learning how to live with our climate, and learning how to, I guess, be more adaptive and go with the flow. And we've learned a lot about building. I mean, look, we didn't know anything about blocks, and here we are sitting inside a block building.
Yeah.
You know?
It's pretty nice.
It is. It's nice and cool in here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we've changed so much as people. There's been a lot of things that have changed us throughout this year. There's some stuff that I've been wanting to share with you guys on the background, some things that have been going on, but I haven't decided how I want to frame it yet, and how I want to discuss it yet. But there's a lot of stuff going on with my personal family that's been going on in the background that I think that I would like to share with you guys and open up with you guys, but I just have to get there first. And just without talking too much, it does have to do with my dad, and it does have to do with my birth father, because my dad was my stepdad growing up, and he was my real, he was my dad. he raised me and everything, but he was my stepdad though, so I don't know, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that's going on in the background that I would like to discuss with you guys, and I'll probably do it here on Real Talk because you guys are the ones that really care about us. You guys are the ones that really, truly have our best interests at heart, and you guys care about us and what's going on in our life, and that's why you guys are here on the daily chatting with us and wanting to know what's going on and everything. And but long story short with that, it's not bad. Everything is all good. Everything is all good. But I just haven't, I'm preparing myself to share some more stuff with you guys, and I hope that you guys will be there for it, so. But on that note, we gotta get to work. Gary's got a lot to do. I know yes. I got a lot to do too, and you're gonna be up on the top again, and yeah. So we're gonna get to it. We will be back here on Real Talk with SLR tomorrow, and we are gonna have an edited video for you guys on Simple Life Reclaimed tomorrow as well. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. We are looking forward to having a nice weekend off. I finally got myself ahead of schedule with the videos so I can have weekends off. I'm so happy about it. Yay! So until then, guys, we love y'all, and we hope you have a good one.
We'll catch you on the next one, you guys.
Bye!
Later.